So I changed the name of the boat, of the barge recently, from Mysticeti to Oceansflow, because nobody could pronounce Mysticeti and nobody knew what it meant. Actually means a pot of whales. Mysticeti means a pot of whales because the boat looks like whales, and just that's kind of the idea. So this is the dinghy here, and the reason it's part of the boat, so that it can just disappear into the boat, and you don't have to you don't have to find any place to store it. The rest of the deck will actually be continuous from where I'm standing all the way forward, and so the dinghy will just blend into the deck of the boat. And when it's gone, well, actually when it's there and when it's gone, I'll have a cover for it that you can walk over.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. Hey. That is fantastic. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good, 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 good. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, okay, working. Ho, 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 ho. Okay. Big test, big test. Okay, it works, but the bearing's a bit... I need to lubricate it, I guess, take it apart. Oh, right. Should just pull out now as well. Something like that. Yeah, okay, there we go. Nice.
So this is the very first time I've had the dinghy in the water. I really like how that looks there. Yeah, that's nice.
So far, so good. Whoa, jeez. Not a bit of a soaker. There we go. Okay. Of course, that's backwards. So far, so good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the corner there, and it's not tipping, it's really stable boat. That's my face.
Too bad about the bearing, but anyway, let's just go. That's the idea. Working. Okay, good.
better views of the dinghy in action from the outside after the barge is in the water. That's optimistic.
Alright, how am I going to do this? Whoop! I need a better way of doing it.
Why work smart when you can work hard? So funny seeing yourself from the outside.
Batteries charging overnight. Let's see what they are doing.
This is before I launch the dinghy.
Not burnt down. That's good. So it should be about 12 volts. 12.4. Oh shit. Okay. Too much. Damn. 12.4, that's way too high. Oh, okay, so it's at 11.8 volts actual battery. Now, after it's not being charged. That's very good. I think that's about 60% charge or something like that. solar panel, and I've just got this tagged up to the solar panel so that I can just plug it in. So this 24 volt panel, 12 volt batteries, and I just hitch up the 24 volt system battery bank from the barge up to the solar panel directly. That sends it into here, which is just an MPPT 100 watts. I think I'm getting through this, 120 watts, and so it just takes the battery bank and throttles it down to 120 watts, and then puts it into 12 volt. So that was an experiment. I just tried it out, and it didn't blow this thing up, so yay!
These batteries are from a Fiat 500. That's just like 10% of the batteries, or even less. Lithium-ion batteries.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, this is just this is just taking apart the motor and fixing the bearing, lubricating the bearings. I actually got another motor as well, and I want to get a higher power motor eventually. Both my motors are only 30-pound thrust.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's better.
This is the beginning of building the dinghy. I actually didn't film much of the building of the dinghy, just because I've gone over all this with the barge itself. That's just epoxy and stitch and glue, and I'm just using sap straps, cable ties, plastic cable ties to hold things together. You just have to hold it together somehow, anyhow, and let the epoxy cure, and then it's perfect. Pretty enthusiastic working on a snowy day. Safety first. So I'm just putting some backing in around all the top surfaces, because that's the place I can't get the epoxy fillets in. And I'm just using polyurethane glue, construction adhesive, to secure those in place. The compartments, compartments on the left and right are actually enclosed spaces, so there'll be positive buoyancy and support, structural support. Yeah, that's a solid little dinghy. I like the polyurethane glue, PL Premium, that's the brand, because it expands, and so you can actually use it to fill voids. Use it for filling screw holes and everything now, just so much easier than epoxy. Just shrinks, soaks into the holes. So just kind of showing the 45 on the bottom. This is what's actually going to be holding the dinghy up in the barge when it's installed as a piece of the deck. So this has to be fairly strong. So those are 1x2 fir. Decided to make it also a sailing dinghy. So this is the dagger board, and those baffles on the left there are to keep the water from slopping up into the into the box there as you're either rowing or sailing or motoring. Okay, so all the surfacing is done now. That is epoxy and glass on the corners, and then tight bond with crop cover cloth as the final surfacing above the waterline. And below the waterline, you can see the difference there. Halfway down is epoxy with fiberglass. Oops. It's the old saying, measure twice, cut once. Well, I put that oarlock 1 inch off. Magic. I think I'm just using the polyurethane glue to attach the gunnel strips there too. Little dance move there. So this is pretty important if anyone else wants to do this. This is a regular solar panel that I am removing the frame from. And so far I've taken like 4 different kinds of solar panels apart, and they all appear to be the same, just they're glued. The aluminum frames are glued.
Aha! Okay. Good. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, aluminum frames are glued onto the glass. I don't know why I didn't show pulling it off the final bit, but I've done it in a couple other places here.
Okay.
Nope. The reason I'm not using the flexible solar panels is because they're just not nearly as efficient. There you go, crack that corner off. Just breaks right off, no problem. The flexible solar panels are not as efficient. They're not as strong. I've seen some tests done with the flexible solar panels where they walk across them they set them on a clear floor with the sunlight above them, and the flexible solar panels, they walk across them and you can see the cells cracking. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just way cheaper, way stronger to use regular solar panels and take the frames off of. And the tempered glass of the panels actually is quite flexible, surprisingly flexible. As in, you can form it to a shape. Yeah, you have to make sure that you use plywood up against the glass so you don't shatter the tempered glass. So applying the solar panel, this is the same thing I did with the Barge, with the big panels. It's just way easier to use, to do a little panel. Use regular silicone, 100% silicone. And as you can see on the deck of the boat there, I have left raw plywood. That's the only way I could figure out to cure the silicone. Because if you just put that on a waterproof surface and then put the waterproof solar panel on it, it'll never cure on the inside. You have to find a way to gas off the silicone. And I think this took about 1.5 small cartridges of silicone. And I think it took like 5 to do the 1 meter by 2 meter solar panels. 4 or 5 to do the big solar panels on the barge. And that putty knife there that I was using, that's every inch. I've done a 1/4 inch by a 1/4 inch slice in a piece of plexiglass to just give out a metered amount of silicone over the surface. And you got to get that solar panel down fairly fast because the silicone starts to cure in the open air, especially on the big panels. As you're pressing your weight on it, you can hear the little air bubbles popping out the edges of the panel. Of course, you're not getting rid of all the air. You can just feel it and hear it pressing down. And even with the big panels, you can move them once you've got them pressed into place before the silicone cures. Okay, this is later on, and the panel is adhered, and these are just little corner strips to keep the edge of the tempered glass from getting nicked and broken. That is copper and epoxy, and I think it's like 4 tablespoons per whatever. I did 6 squirts from my West System epoxy and 4 tablespoons of copper, and that's 3 micron powder. Very, very beautiful fine powder. And of course that's applying it to the bottom where it's been fiberglassed as an anti-fouling. And frankly, it just simply helps armor the bottom. It's amazing how well that stuff works. It's way harder than normal epoxy with the copper powder in